So I thought this was going to be easy to make. Well, let's just say that I was a little bit wrong. So this rover was made by Larkin Michael on Thingiverse. I found it there whenever I was just searching for something for fun to make, and the link will be in the description. But this rover was honestly just kind of a fun project for me. I didn't really know what I was going to use it for at all, but I wanted to just kind of make it for fun and see what it could be. What I really didn't know at the time was just how long and just kind of a hard project this would turn out to be, and all of the things that I would have to learn and look up YouTube videos for, because I just didn't know what I was doing. And whenever I made this is about, oh gosh, probably three and a half years from now, or 3.5 years in the past. So I was probably 13, and I really didn't know what I was doing. I was just, as I said, doing it for fun. And here it is. I made it finally. But this video will just kind of show you exactly what happened and what went wrong and what went right and that kind of stuff. And excuse the basement, I didn't really have anywhere else to film, so here we are. All right, now we're handheld, so I'll get you a closer look at it. So that's the top-down profile. Here's that, and then here's the inside of it without all the huge batteries. So it's got a lot going on in there. That was a really painful process to do, but I'm gonna show you how it all kind of came together. So this is one of the wheels that it has. I'm not sure exactly where I got this from. It might have been from the same guy, but it was a wheel that was not exactly custom made to fit this, but I kind of made it fit. So this thing right here, I designed in Tinkercad at the time, and all it really did was just make sure that I could connect to the motor right there to the wheel. So it was just kind of an axle for it. And these motors, I don't even know where I got them. I think they was from Amazon, but I had to protect them from the sand that I got on it whenever I took it to the beach. And of course I'm not gonna be able to take it out, but I don't know exactly what the motors are. It's not that important to the video, but there's that. And then this battery right here is a 3-cell, I think. I don't know. I'm not well versed in this at all, but there's that. I think I ran it on 2 of these at the time, but just to give it more power. But yep, there's that, and then there's 2 ESCs in there. You really can't see it at all because I'm having to zoom in, but that's one of the ESCs, whatever. And then there's the other one. It's a 3S LiPo, by the way, this battery, now I remember. But there's the inside. It's not that complicated. It just has just a bunch of wires happening and all that, but it's not much. And then while I was making this, I didn't have any like tutorial or anything, so I just kind of looked at what he printed and tried to make it. And I have all this like tubing to protect the wires that didn't really do anything. They just made it harder, and just all this kind of stuff. I don't know what I was doing, but there's the little antenna for the remote. I'll go ahead and show you that. This is the remote. It's nothing too fancy. It just has a few controls that I never used, but this remote it turned out to be the hardest part of the whole entire project, because this thing, it needs to tank steer, right? But this remote is not like naturally made for that. So I had to tune pretty much every single motor on it to work with this remote, and whew, it wasn't fun at all. Now I'm gonna just show you kind of how it ran about 3 years ago, and you'll see on the video that, well, even now, like a lot of the motors are just like very loose. Like that's not even the motor, that's just the wheel, how I printed it. And these are TPU, by the way, so they're squishy. But And I don't know if you can tell, but that is Morse code for JPL. And these are actually the Curiosity wheels, I believe. So I just copied that, and it was pretty fun to make because it made like little tracks in the sand of JPL, but that was cool. Anyways, I'll show you the video of it running, and it's very weird, but it's fun, so. And this is the printer that I use. It's the QIDI, however you say that, QD, I don't know. But it's that printer, and it's the X Plus. So this printer is pretty old, but it does all it needs to do. It's got a direct hot end there, direct extruder, and of course the heated bed and all the controls there. And that's another roll of the filament that I use. But that's a 3 kilogram spool of PLA. I think it's PLA plus actually, but PLA. And so that's the printer that I use to make that over there. And it was actually a really not hard of a project to print, but the harder parts came after that. So let's just say that. What I mean by that is these joints, it took about 8 hours to print-ish. They're 100% infill. They're connecting the whole wheel assembly to the body of the Rover. And what should happen is I just print them once, and they work perfectly fine that one time. I don't have to print them again. Well, this is an engineering project, and I sure did learn my skills on that. You never get it right the first time, and if you do, then you should go buy a lottery ticket, because you cannot get these right the first time. And the reason I say that is these connect with epoxy right there. That had to be a very, very tight bond, and I was just not getting it. And every time I printed them, it was 8 hours, so it just took forever. And that was one of the harder things. The other one was getting this whole assembly working. So this whole thing in here is just a bunch of screws that were I was never going to get them out again after the project, but all these screws right there and just all across the whole thing, they just took forever to do because I didn't really want to go out and buy more screws than I already had, because as you can see, there are a lot of just screws all over the place on this thing, and didn't really want to get more. So I kind of jerry-rigged it a little, and I got these actual screws and just drilled them right into the body. And probably not the smartest idea, but I did it because it was easy and quick and free, because I already had them. And that was really annoying. And I don't know if you can tell, but that one's butting up on that piece right there. All these are just really hard to work with. And I did all these before I had the wiring in there, which was kind of dumb, but I had to dodge all of these while I stuck my hand in there and worked around in the wires, and it just was really a pain. And you have to remember, I am 13 years old whenever I made this, so I had no idea what I was doing, and it still ended up great. I took it to the beach, you can tell, because there's a whole bunch of sand in there, and it was just a really fun project to do, but wow, it took forever. And I mean, these are from an old RC car that broke down that I had. You can probably actually see it over there. I took some of the shocks off of that. I got new ones for it, but took some of the old shocks off of it. I used those. This shoot, I don't remember what it's called, but if you pull up one wheel, that thing turns, goes back down, that kind of thing. That helped it stay always on the ground. You'd always have one point of contact on the ground, which is nice. And but yeah, that is the project, and I am really happy I made it because it taught me a lot about engineering. And usually the hardest thing that I ever had to learn was typically the start of a project is always easier than the middle part, and you can't let yourself down in the middle part. And if you do, well, you could just miss out on a really good project like this. Hey, future me, I wanted to show you a little photo of the tracks in the sand, and here it is. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this. This was a fun project for me whenever I didn't really know what I was doing, and I'm happy I did it because I really did learn a whole lot about engineering and just the whole field of it, and I'm really happy I did. So I hope you enjoyed this. AT4 Engineer out.